In the Philippines, it's considered good manners to eat all the food on your plate. Whereas in Afghanistan, it's frowned upon if you leave food uneaten because it's considered wasteful. Hi everyone, I'm Nandis Perez. Welcome back to another episode of ESL Trailblazer. How are you Trailblazers doing today? My topic for today is etiquette and manners, and specifically good manners. So, get ready. We got a lot to cover. Okay, and we're back. Let's get right into it without further ado. So, good manners, what a topic. As I said in the previous episode, interpersonal skills, intercultural competence. I feel like good manners is really essential in this, and I don't know how many of us ESL teachers really cover the topic in our lessons, but hey, this is a great lesson topic and a lot of great language to cover, fantastic language, and also it provides some very good context for discussion between you and your students, teachers and students, as well as students if it's an international classroom. So I gave you the two examples with the Philippines and Afghanistan, and I used two expressions there: frowned upon, okay, and considered disrespectful. All right. The word that we use when we're talking about good manners is etiquette. We can use etiquette, for instance, with table or dining etiquette. All right, a lot of manners come from that experience, and I'll come back to that in a minute. All right, other words that we can use to describe manners is disrespectful, offensive, courteous, or the opposite, discourteous. All right, if we want to really emphasize it, we can say something like downright rude. British people like to use the word cheeky when they want to say that you're rude, but it's not so bad, I suppose. Okay, like you like to maybe make some cheeky comments about certain things in the workplace or with your friends. Okay, we can also use positive words like his or her manners are impeccable or exemplary. So another way of saying perfect or excellent. Okay, but I know that giving you the words is not enough. Typically, we use expressions before those words to make a sentence, such as he or she is regarded as, or it is regarded as. This is viewed as disrespectful, polite, rude, offensive, courteous, okay? Or it is perceived as disrespectful, courteous, okay? We can also say that it is considered to be, all right? Or it is regarded as, I mentioned that already, sorry. And finally, it is customary to. So those are some sentence structures that I just gave to you, okay? For describing manners that are acceptable or not acceptable in a culture. All right. Another expression we can use is that a person's remarks, you thought that they were in poor taste. So for instance, because I live in Poland, I'll use some Polish names. I took exception to Marek's remarks. I thought they were in poor taste. That's another expression. I took exception to. That means that you personally found them to be inappropriate, okay, or unacceptable. When you say I thought they were in poor taste, again, maybe not appropriate for the situation. So that's the language. I've covered a lot right there, and hopefully you find it useful, valuable. Remember to share this with others. I really believe this is a great topic for teachers and students. We need to be aware of manners, especially when we're visiting or traveling to different cultures. Things can be misconstrued or misinterpreted. Misinterpreted, that means like people can get the wrong impression from an action or behavior or something that we say or do And that's why we need to be aware of these things. Intercultural competence, very, very important. So some examples, I can't resist. I mean, I'm an expat living in a foreign country, Poland, and you gotta be aware of these things, all right? So a few examples. When you're in Poland, it is customary to take off your shoes when you go into someone's home, all right? Now, if you're a guest, a lot of times, and it's a party, they will, Polish people will tend to tell you that that is not necessary and not to take them off, and that happens plenty. But generally, the good manners are that you offer to take off your shoes when you enter someone's homes, because Polish people really care about cleanliness, the noun for clean, cleanliness, and that's what you should do. If you don't, it might be regarded as a bit rude, okay? I learned very early on, moving to this country, living in this country, that when you are drinking socially, all right, vodka is the preferred alcoholic beverage in this country. And if you're having drinks, usually in Polish culture, there's a shot class. And when you're doing it with young people, students, there might be only one that's going around, or not. But regardless of that, it's very important and customary, okay, that when you're pouring the shot with the vodka, that you pour the other people's shots first and yours last if you're holding the bottle. Remember that if you're visiting it, folks, okay? You don't want to make a mistake, all right? It could be frowned upon, disrespectful. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. I'm sure people would be happy to explain it to you. Nobody's going to be offended by this, but it's customary. So be aware of that. Tip. What else? Holding the door open for someone who's coming in behind you, whether a stranger or not. That's perceived as good manners, okay? Maybe exemplary, or impeccable manners, all right? That's maybe an exaggeration, but if you do that, maybe you do the other things good. Now, a lot of good examples come with table manners. I remember when I was growing up, my parents and my mother in particular always told me to keep my elbows off the table when I was eating. All right, that's considered not rude, but discourteous. Okay, and chewing with your mouth closed. I know British people tend to think that it's rude if you're speaking with a mouthful of food, okay? And I notice when I go to England, a lot of people in the canteen where I work in the summers, they are very courteous and always are covering their mouths like this when they're speaking to you and they have some food in their mouth still, okay? When we're all sitting and talking. And obviously that's impeccable. Exemplary manners. Thank you very much, English people. All right, so those are some examples. I'm sure you can think of more. This is a great topic, as I said again. I'd love your feedback on this. Remember, you gotta make something happen, build that momentum, teaching, learning, native speakers, students, or teachers. There's plenty we can do to improve our lessons out there. And that's all I got for you. I hope you found this valuable. I'd love your feedback. Make sure you share or subscribe. That's all I have. Trailblazers, I'll see you back next week for another episode. Let's make something happen. I'm Nanda signing out. Have a great week, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Later.